And we are live. Greetings and salutations, my fellow YouTubers out there. This is Sam the Thomas Fan 2, coming to you live. Whoop, sorry about that. uh, anyways, welcome everybody to the my not only my first ever live stream on my YouTube channel, but to the very first episode of TUGS Reactions. And also, I want to actually say that, hey, happy 30th anniversary to Tugs itself. To be honest, I'm actually surprised that we've come all this way for such a little series like Tugs. Well, it's basically been a kind of a, jeez, I'm sorry about this, folks. I'm actually a bit nervous, as and all. I never actually did something like this, but uh, well, I will say that for a small show like Tugs, it really has touched my heart since knowing about it. Now, granted, I haven't actually grown up to loving Tugs. I've only known about it ever since I was in my second year of high school, and let me tell you, the series has just been a godsend to me, and I wouldn't have gotten here without actually having to know so much of the series itself from my uh, a few many YouTubers that I've seen over the years do so much for Tugs itself with a couple of reviews, redubs, and even showing off some of the merchandise there. I here and there sometimes, but yeah. But anyways, before we get started with the first reaction here, I want to actually show off a couple of the merchandise that I've collected over the years. Here's, well, most of it since I don't have it with me. And there's a couple of bits, well, a couple of things that are still left downstairs, but that's in any case, let me just take out the mic here and just place it down. Okay. Okay. All right. And here we go. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise actually having to reveal my face for the first time. Well, a new a numerous amount of times. But anyways, I have collected a bit of the merchandise since 2017. Well, it's been kind of a hobby, Like I was actually at first was obsessed with trying to get the British version of the VHS tapes, and the first one I believe I had was the Tugs Trapped Ghost and High Winds as VHS, along with the Quarantine, Jinx, and Upriver VHS. Sorry about that. But yeah, these two were basically the first VHSs I ever gotten since 2017. It's actually amazing to have such rare gems like these sometimes. And jump ahead to around 2018, I believe, and I managed to find in my next VHS, which is the rarest one to find sometimes, the Warrior, High Tides, and the Big Freeze VHS. This I really it really was actually kind of a shocker, because I found this item here on a eBay. Hey, well, on a bundle of eBay stuff that's related to Tugs, and I just got lucky and got this as an Easter gift, and I really want to thank my, uh, I really just want to thank my stepmom for lending me the money to get this as an Easter gift. Or, I'm sorry, I meant to say that she actually got me an eBay gift card so I can pay for this online, and it was almost it was almost a close call because the bundle was just like a few days away from closing, and I just got lucky for that matter. But it was also around the time because the same person was actually selling off a few other VHSs, which I'll show you in a moment. Jump ahead a few months later, and I would have obtained the Sunshine and Pirate VHS I have here. Yeah, I and the shocking thing about all this was I'm not sure if you have checked me out on Twitter, but I got this VHS not only hey, I not only got this alone. The user who apparently sold this thing to me actually gave me a pack of Halo gummy rings things in it. And I was actually pretty surprised and impressed that this person would actually go out to such lengths to actually give me a little treat for getting this. So, to wherever he is out there, I just want to say thank you once again for giving me this VHS along with the Halo gummies. It's it was just I'm at a loss for words for that part. But and finally, next here we have the final VHS to complete the collection, none other than the Munitions and Fourth of July VHS that came with another copy of the Trapped Ghosts in High Winds VHS and another another copy of Sunshine and Pirates. And I was actually surprised because I only just wanted the Munitions and Fourth of July VHS, but yeah, you gotta get what you gotta get sometimes. And not only that, but the VHS is that I got here actually came with a paperback book of High Winds, which is the only thing that I have downstairs at the moment. But I may obtain it for po- possibly. Nah, 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 never mind. Uh, but in any case, and the final bits of merchandise that I've collected for this live stream here are my Earl versions of 10 Cents and Sunshine. And let me just say that these two a were actually just something I guaranteed got because uh, the Earl Sunshine was actually, in fact, my first eBay purchase when I actually started using eBay back in 2017, and my Earl 10 cents was the last Earl purchase I made back in 2017. So these two were basically lucky to me, and if by chance and by possible, and now this may be a possible theory that I may actually be trying to do, or just a possible thing that I am working on, but I am in the I might try in the process to work on a fan made Thomas series that may include 10 Cents, Sunshine, and possibly the Ertl rendition versions of the characters from Theodore Tugboat that were made in Ertl. It's it's still a work in progress, but hopefully in the near future I will try to get head the series going at least. But for right now, it's it's just well, I don't know. I guess in the words of Victor Tanzik, if he were here or not, I'm sorry. I'm just really bad at this. But if I will say at least that will be a story for another day. I'm I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm just new to the live stream thing, but in any case, yeah. And hang on, L- yeah. So let's get started with the reaction here. So, and before we do so, let me just check the chats. Ah, and we got a couple of people in the chats. We got Andrew Liago, hi to you. And we also got Jonathan, Jeremy the Tank Engine, Train Boy 53, Steamies, and the Blue Tender Engine 1, the Thomas and Tugs man, and 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 we had previously Tommy Boyer. So hi to you guys, and all right, so now that things are out of the way, let's get started with the reaction here. Or let me just get let me just share my screen here and okay. Let me just all right. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Well then, without further ado, let's get started with episode 1 of Tugs, which is Sunshine here. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat. And the star tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the big city port.
That is correct here, Captain Star. And let's begin, because this, my friends, is Tugs Reactions. You know what? I will say for one thing that's I'm not that I will say that the intro for the 20 minutes episodes was just I will say that it wasn't that well planned out from my point of view. I just don't think it was that well well crafted there back then, but I will give props for effort though.
Big city port was the most harbour in the world. It was a time of change and opportunity. Nobody knew it better than the hardcore tugs who strengthened the
You
parts
know,
of
I often sometimes think to myself
ocean
if
lines.
if big city port was considered the biggest harbor in the world, wouldn't it if it actually existed and if it was the biggest harbor in the world, wouldn't it make sense? I I I think crap. I sorry. I thought I had it there. If it were like the biggest harbor in the world, well, per se, I I don't know. I just lost it there.
Striving to be the best in the port, not always succeeding, but proud of their work. I remember the day of our first big break. Started like most, at dawn. Good morning, Starfleet. Today I've chartered another switcher to help out with the extra work. He's from upriver. 10 cents, he'll be working with you. Show him the ropes. Right, Captain Star. What's his name? Sunshine.
You know, every time when I actually hear like Tencent's name, I mean, granted, it is considerably named out. He is considerably named after the dime, but it's. I often wonder what possessed the creators. Has what possessed has Robert and I believe it's, uh I wonder what possessed Robert and Mike to actually like give the other tugs names.
You're on the side. Not this is no work for switcher. That's right. Tugs over, Vincent. Make sure you don't bump
Like the
into him.
twins, Big Mac and Warrior, I get their names, but the other names they just really confuzzled me at a at some point in time, you know.
Our biggest rival those days was Captain Zero. With his Z-stacks, he was always looking for ways to get further ahead. Now listen to me and listen good. The Starfleet are about to get the ocean liner contract. It's like I am not happy. We're not smiling, Captain Zero. I'm glad you don't find it funny, Zoran. Now I want that contract, and you're going to get it for me. Yes, sir, yes, sir. But how? I thought that...
You know what? The one thing I found confusing about this scene here with the Z sex was how they actually had to like switch different angles. You know, like I mean, I know the shot featuring Zag, Zeb, Zebedee, and Zug was actually featured for the 10th episode, Jinx, but it's couldn't it have been made much more sense if they actually had like the same shot, like what they did with the Star Tugs when they were getting their orders from Captain Star in the beginning, in the last scene.
Tracked up the coast. So I was to lose his great strength on the very day I was to need him most.
Hercules, the Duchess is coming this afternoon. It's a pity you won't be there.
I know. I hate to disappoint the Duchess.
Yeah, I'm looking for a switcher called Sunshine.
And Hercules, on the other hand, I actually get his name. Him, it is a rather interesting name for a tug, though. But
Chance? Has that switcher found your yet? No, not yet. He's looking for you. Go look for him.
I often sometimes wonder what would happen if they actually included the deleted scene shots that were featured in the 15-minute version of Sunshine and into the 20-minute episodes here.
It's me. Come on, let's get to work. Starfleet's docking an ocean liner this afternoon, and if we get a move on, finish in time to watch. Yes. Yeah. Now look, Sunshine. I've only called Captain Star, sir. I'm just 10 cents, okay? Yes. Sure thing. 10 cents.
Well, look what the tide's brought you. Izzy Gomez.
Hey, you guys, I need a dog.
Don't accept
Now,
bananas as payment.
before I actually say what I had to say here, let me just show you. I don't want to offend anybody for saying this, but I always had figured that Izzy Gomez was actually like a gangster tramper, sometimes like Johnny Cuba. But I mean, he has shown a bit of like a couple of good moments at times, but it's the stunts he like tried to pull, like trying to slipping into ports, like it's crashing into the rocks in the dream sequence featured in Warrior. I I don't know. It just seems rather confusing.
This was not easier. Next to it was the sea. Star Tug's jobs was supplying food for Sally.
Hello, 10 cents. Your new friend. Sunshine meets Sally. Is that a seaplane?
You know, I really wish they would actually give Sally Seaplane more roles back then. And I mean, she was featured in the High Winds paperback book that I have, but and granted she was seen in Regatta, but I really I really like her that much. I mean, I wish they would actually just give her like I wish they would actually have given her more like genuine roles in the series. Like
So, stuff him onto one. Okay? Stupid?
That is before to your senses, so you should soon catch on. Oh, catch on, son.
You better. Do it fast and get back fast. Now give. Devious, man.
Zip, don't tell me you're gonna start saying groovy or something like that. That's what I immediately thought when I actually like heard him say devious, man, devious.
But fast. They're bringing in Duchess this afternoon. Don't need time to get ship shape.
Hey, well, my friend, the Duchess, she already here. Oh,
She can't be.
gee, I heard her already.
Suffering stacks. She's early. I'll tell the others. Sorry, Izzy. I'll tell you later.
Oh, compadre.
Zip and Zach knew exactly where to find Big Mac. They were waiting for him.
Need a hand, Big Mac, old buddy?
Well, thanks,
Well, it was a nice day, Big Mac. Thought we'd try to spread a little happiness. Yeah, like helping our mates. Don't go past to see what's struggling.
Thanks, guys. No, we're back in the game for the Duchess. Big Mac had no idea the Zed stacks were laying a trap for him.
10 cents. Have you seen Big Mac? Is there a problem? The
Teachers is due in early. Don't bring her in.
Seems he's briefing.
Well, you two go and look for him. The rest of us have to try and manage till he gets there. Come on, lads.
Duchess isn't gonna like this.
You know, every I will say it felt really unique having to have the image shots of Warrior and Top Hat to be featured on the British versions of the Tugs VHSs.
Ready to go, boys? Good doctor.
At least I think.
Is it on?
No, no, never mind. Forget that.
There you are. Big Mac, what's happened?
I'm not sure. Zip and Zug were giving me a hand. The next thing I knew, I was on the sandbank. They went for help.
No, they didn't. They're crooks, those two. Come on, let's get you out of here.
There's no time. That's the Duchess. She's
You know,
not appearing.
I always had this like creative thought that
Can't tell you.
if Zip and Zuck actually had like like Z Stack henchmen like if Captain Zero actually had his, if he had like henchmen like being a part of the uh, like controlling the tugs itself, and they would actually, the crazy thought about this is that if the hench if the henchmen were able to get onto Big Mac and themselves and knock out Big Mac's crew, then they would take out his. I would think that as a way to make sure that he wouldn't come, they would like take out his like try to take out the wiring in or something in him, and just like try to divert him into the sandbank. And, consider consider that thought for a moment. If they actually had like human crew members of the Starfleet, like if they actually had like minifigures from like that's that were like rendered from the Thomas and Friends series into the series here.
That to be a service. Ashamed and confused, Sunshine couldn't explain what had happened. So he slipped away while the Star Tugs were still busy.
It's really just like sad having Sunshine be the victim of all this, you know? Like I know he wasn't intentionally at fault here, considering the fact it was strange how Zoran showed up. I mean, I know that, but come on, really, you really got like take the blame on the new member of the fleet. Just
Oh, thank you, sir.
Man, Zora, I got it. No one saw you. Not even little, what's his name?
Sunshine? No, sir. No one saw us.
Good, that's very good. I'll offer our services to the Duchess Lines tomorrow.
Poor little Sunshine. Just as his name.
Hey, I think Warrior forget me. What am I gonna do with these bananas?
let them sit out in the sun and let them rot, probably for that matter.
What for?
I know that's terrible. They're just
What's so should I fall in trouble you for?
So, Josh,
It's up to you.
don't wait up.
you know
Very good.
I really
Always blame Mr. Nice Guy.
sorry about that. Because a thought just came to me. I've actually been thinking of like doing another Tugs related project where I compare this scene here in general along with the comic dub scene that was uploaded from my friend Liz Productions 574. Like, what do you guys think? If maybe it would be best if I actually like did a comparison of this scene and the comic dub thing that Liz did. And what do you guys think?
Sunshine!
To be quite honest, I was actually surprised that Tencent's O face was like featured in this episode too. Like
Sunshine!
I always figured that it was only featured in Ghosts, as to be honest.
Maybe he's out there.
Maybe I should just try and not much point pushing up in here.
Hi, Tencent.
Ah, 10 cents.
Oh, Hercules! Thank goodness you're back.
Yes, only just. Why, what's the problem, old chap? Everything went all right with the Duchess, I hope?
Why shouldn't it? Everything was just fine. She docked and everything. No, I was just looking for sunshine. Thought you maybe seen it. I know. Oh well. See ya. Bye, Tencent.
I've just got to get home somehow.
And another thing that I've always kind of had a few ifs on, like every time when this that shot with Sunshine, like trying to go back home, like I always I always question if they actually like repainted him and had to like shoot that scene with his his Starfleet colors on, and it, that was actually one of the that was like one of the worst goose I could actually say by far in this episode.
What? You sure? Yeah, I had a feeling those dead stacks were up to something. Hey, wait a minute, I must tell the others.
Bingo, 10 cents. You finally cracked the case.
Oh, you lot, come on, wake up. Listen, he told me he saw everything.
Aren't sleepy, is he? What did he see?
He saw the accident. I mean, he saw why Sunshine had the accident.
So what? He had it, that's enough.
Zoran who hit Sunshine. That's what made him lose control, is he saw it.
I wondered why Zoran appeared so quickly. All right, 10 cents. Izzy could have seen everything.
He did. Look, you just gotta believe him. Sunshine isn't a clumsy tug. I can tell by working with him.
All right, all right. Now, you've looked everywhere for him, have you, 10 cents?
Yeah, everywhere. Even as far out as Lily.
Well, if I was Sunshine, I guess I would have tried to make it home.
See? Yeah, of course, that's it, upriver. Yeah, come on.
Now, the rest of you follow 10 cents. I'll stay here and tell Captain Star.
Hmm.
I'm with you, 10 cents. Come on, warrior. Go back.
As I'm doing nothing better.
Stone says Paul, 10 cents and the others set out to look for Sunshine.
Yeah, like even when he's actually like when Sunshine's like diverted into the sandbank, I always keep thinking that he's always like repainted in Starfleet colors here.
In effect, found out it wasn't your fault. So everything's all right now. An apology from Toppat. I don't believe it.
You think Captain Star...
And this is one of my favorite moments in 3, 2, 1.
Suffering stacks. Easy. Completely forgot.
You have seen.
Impossible. I made sure.
Argue with me. You have seen. Now the Duchess knows what you did to me. Don't get the contract. What kind of idiots do I have working for me?
Billy D is giant shit. Sorry about that.
That face that Zora makes is just so cringeworthy at times. It makes me just want to crease my, just squinch my face trying to avoid it, like it's staring at my soul or something.
Trust and shit. I think we have 10 cents to thank for that. For the rest of us, about jumping to conclusions before knowing the truth. Now, I know you're all proud of being star tugs, but the most important thing in my fleet, after hard work, is that my tugs always be true, honest, and forgiving. Now, if you'll look to port, I would like you to welcome our new Sunshine.
Ah.
Proud to have you on my
Aw.
You're welcome aboard. You look great, sunshine.
That has always just been like a real sweet moment at the end there. It's uh, I just have no comment on that. That was just another great moment in there. But sometimes every time when I like go through the credits here, I often question about why they never include the cast members of the series in general. Like I'm always confused by that. Hmm. Well, in any case, well, I guess that pretty much wraps it up for everything, everyone. And well, it's been a good honor actually showcasing the first reaction video to Tugs, and I'm hoping to actually continue on making more of these until like Hingley until until the end of June for that matter. Well, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video, and be sure to tune in next Thursday where I will be reacting to the second episode, Pirates. And with that all being said, I'm Sam the Thomas fan too, saying that this has been a good start to my reaction series. And with that being said, I like to say thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now, everyone.